But anyway, the point was, Prince Yusupov arranged a party, and he claimed in his autobiography, in which he gave cakes and drinks to Rasputin, which were filled with cyanide, and he didn't seem to move at all. And then they stabbed him, and then they shot him, and he got up again. So then they eventually threw him into the river, and they found when his body was exhumed that he had drowned. But autopsy showed that this just isn't true.
You know what? If I was at a party and they gave me cakes full of cyanide and then they stabbed me, I'd leave then. I would make my excuses no matter how rude it appeared before they got the gun out. I think I'd go, do you know what, I've got an early morning. I've got a thing.
Well, what about the durable Mike Malloy? Have you heard of him? Now, here's a man who really wouldn't die. This is a very extraordinary story. The durable Mike Malloy. We're in the age of Prohibition, and we're in New York City, and we've got a gang of criminals, because obviously anyone who runs a speakeasy is a criminal by definition during Prohibition, and they hit on a scam. They thought, we'll get some drunks, we'll get them to sign life insurance forms to our benefit, and then we'll just feed them so much alcohol that they'll die, and we'll get all the money. And what can go wrong?
Had they never met Irish people before?
That's the problem.
They were bankrupt.
Ran out of booze.
So
that's what happened.
Owner Anthony Marino hatched this plan. Got this Irishman, he was Irishman, called Mike Malloy, and they befriended him, they plied him with free drinks, and they got him to sign 3 different life insurance policies amounting to nearly $2,000, which was a lot of money in those days. After several weeks of free booze, they started to get a bit impatient because he wasn't
kept singing the same songs.
So they started adding.
God, he's doing that one again.
Yeah. They started
daddy boy.
They started adding antifreeze. He collapsed a bit, but he kept coming back for more drink. So they then gave him drinks that were filled with turpentine, horse liniment, rat poison, rotten oysters in wood alcohol, and sardines mixed with carpet tacks.
Do we have any record of what he's... Oh,
none of this had any effect.
Yeah, I suppose if it's on the house...
Yeah.
He's downing that.
So next, they got him drunk, they stripped him naked, this is midwinter in New York, and they poured 5 gallons of cold water on him before dumping him on a snowbank. If you've ever been in New York midwinter, it is seriously cold. It gets to minus 20 degrees sometimes.
Why don't they just shoot him? I think a bullet hole might have been...
Yeah, it might have been a bit of a giveaway.
Oh, I don't know. I think naked on a mound of snow is quite a giveaway,
Well, he was drunk.
He was drunk having sex with a snowman.
Yeah, that's all right. But the police found him, and he turned up the next day saying, you'll never guess what happened. They found me in Central Park on the snow naked. I don't know how that happened, but they took me to a hostel and I got me these nice new clothes. And so he carried on drinking, and they were really getting desperate. They paid a cab driver $150 to knock him over. After 2 attempts, they left him sprawled in the road, awaiting news of his death. Several weeks later, he came fresh out of hospital, turning up looking for a drink. So finally, they challenged him to a rigged drinking contest. They got him really, really pissed and then pushed a gas hose in his throat and gassed him to death.
Oh.
So they cheated.
Yeah.
But a few months later, don't worry, they started squabbling amongst themselves. And they all went down the river to Sing Sing and got fried in the electric chair. Yeah. The whole gang of them.
The thing that I find interesting about that story is when you said they put a gas hose in his mouth and cheated, the audience went, oh. But before that, when they were trying to kill the man, you were going, well, that just sounds like bloody good fun. And then the gas hose, you went, yeah, that's not playing straight.
No, it's not cricket. Not cricket.
It's an interesting morality you're working with. Take a good, hard look at yourself.
There he is. Well, that's the story of durable Mike Malloy, a hero of his time in some ways.
Did he tell you that story?
No.
And he's here tonight.
Comes in naked, full of gas. Oh, he didn't get me, you know.
Actually, he's up there.